everyone, welcome to the TexAgs Rewind. I am Maria Griglione, and I am alongside Nick Savage, who is behind the glass. We had a packed show today with OB, Dennis Dodd, Emiley Kennedy, and Boomer White. So, Nick, what was your favorite part of the show?
Definitely had to be Lefty. I love when we get a chance to talk to the softball players, especially Emiley Kennedy, who is a certified bad.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I loved what she had to say about the team this past weekend. And yeah, so check it out.
Let's talk about the schedule in a different way.
Okay.
Right? I haven't told you we're going to talk about this.
No.
Although you could read the rundown. That being said, I want you to we'll rank together the opponents hardest to easiest. Okay? So if you look at the schedule, you say, I wonder who the hardest opponent is. And you can factor in many things. You can factor where the games play. I don't care what you factor.
Okay.
All right? Hardest game on their schedule.
Texas.
Oh, I agree. At Texas, and it's Texas.
Yeah.
I think the second hardest game is easy. And it's not because I think this team is the second.
So the second hardest is easy?
Yeah. It's not because I think they're the second best of the group, although they could end up being. I think the history at LSU makes them.
They haven't won since '94.
So they would be my number 2.
Okay. I can see that.
This is like a draft. I feel like we're drafting teams. And then the aforementioned Notre Dame is my number 3. Agree? Disagree?
Since it's on the road, and we're conditioned to assume that
A&M
Notre Dame
struggles.
is just going to be really good.
Yeah. They're usually okay, right?
Yeah. It doesn't hurt that you get to play Army and Navy often, Navy every year, and dregs of the ACC, but okay.
So, easy, Texas 1, LSU 2, Notre Dame 3. I think it's easy.
Okay.
This is where I think we might differ a tad.
Okay, I'm going to take South Carolina.
That's who I have.
Okay.
We're 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
Why South Carolina?
They should be pretty good, especially with the quarterback they have and
Lenore
Sellers. And quite frankly,
they may have taken a step back, maybe defensively, right?
Oh, yeah, they're going to take a step back defensively.
Yep.
And they're probably going to be the same on the offensive line, which wasn't good against anybody but A&M.
But A&M, right? Dennis, talk to me about what Coach Elko did in year 1 to year 2. Like what you think he's going to be able to do. Do you think he's putting them in the right direction?
I do. I just think I think A&M's in a situation that a lot of teams are in now. I don't call it realignment anymore. I call it consolidation, where now you have to play these same teams in year 2, just flip the venue. And that was pretty tough last year. A good year 1, but you have to go to Notre Dame. You have to go to Missouri, which was obliterated, but will have the revenge motive. It's going to be tough. I think he laid a good foundation. He had a really good recruiting class, but you've got Texas that's going to be picked number 1 right down the road. Well, the last time, we all know the last time they were in the same conference was, in the Big 12. Well, now it means more, to borrow a phrase. You're in the SEC, not only competing for that, but for a playoff spot, for a conference championship, and a national championship. So I think Mike Elko's laid a good foundation. It remains to be seen, what long-term progress there's going to be made. But it's everything's on the table. I think for all these schools in the SEC and the Big Ten, the potential is unlimited. Those who don't live up are going to fall short. You see that already.
Last thing for you. Why do you think over the last 30 years, A&M has not been able to break through? You had your moment. You had 98, K-State, winning the Big 12. You had the Johnny year in 2012 and 2020. And other than that, it's just been kind of mediocre.
Yeah, that's a question for the ages, isn't it? There could be books written on that. I was there for both of those. I was there for the Johnny stuff and that game in 98. Man, I should put that on the list where I keep getting this wrong. I can't remember either. A&M or K-State was up by 12 with 9 minutes to go or 9 with 12 minutes to go. I can't remember. But anyway, we know how it ended, overtime and A&M wins, but can't get over the hump. Some of it was selection of coaches. Some of it was Heisman Trophy winners leaving, like a Kyler Murray. Obviously, some of it is recruiting, not measuring up. So you've still got, what is the last championship? It was 1939, I think. I think that's right.
Yep.
Part of it is chasing Texas, which they will continue to do forever.
And how, like, that moment for you, and for, like, we've talked to you and Coco, just been the staples of this team, but just to, whenever you came to Aggieland, that is something you've dreamed about, right?
Yeah. Me and Coco were like, we looked at each other and we're like, we finally made it. Like, we went through all 4 years and we wanted this program to be where we are, and we're glad to be the class to get them where we need to be.
All right, let's do the origin story. Why A&M? How'd you get to A&M?
It's a really, like, my recruiting process was up and down. I didn't want to go far from home, and I'm from like an hour and a half down the road. And back when Coach Evans was here, we had a really good relationship. She's a really good person, really good human. My dad and her still talk to this day, and I just wanted to go close to home.
Yeah, and what is it about A&M that, like, is home for you?
I think the 12th man is huge. Like, no matter where I go, someone's going to be like, Gig'em, like, we support you. Like, I went to the grocery store yesterday and everyone was like, congrats on co-champs. We hope you go to the World Series. And it's just like the support system, like, regardless if, like, I know them or not, I know they have my back.
We'll do a follow-up. How did you get to softball? Like, take me through, like, the youth, the development, like, why softball, how you got to softball, and did you think that this path was going to be for you?
I grew up playing, like, every sport. I was a gymnast. I did track. I did soccer. My mom played softball in high school. So she was like, if you're going to play every sport, you got to try softball. So then I tried it, and I was really, really good at it. And so I was like, maybe I should stick with this. And I went volleyball, softball in high school until I started getting recruited, got committed to A&M, and I was like, this softball thing might be where I need to be.
And now you're a pro. You're going to be a pro. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. That's one thing we haven't gotten to talk about. I mean, just what an honor that sometimes you don't think as a kid that you can extend your softball career, beyond college, but how cool is it that you are able to do that, but, like, first you want to take care of business here?
I think it was huge just because, like, little softball me would have never thought of this. Like, 12-year-old me was just like, I'm just going to play softball because, like, I'm good at it and I see where it goes, and now I'm going to be a pro. And all the little girls look up to me, and it's just, like, all of, like, my dreams have finally come true, and, like, one more step closer to finishing my college career the way I wanted to. Yeah. Yeah,
well, look, what went wrong? Like, is this something that we've seen? I mean, you can point at the 9th inning on Friday night, right? But is there a deeper thing that's happening? Is this who they are?
I really don't think so. I really don't. And I think that, I think what's so tough on so many fans is that you've seen the preseason, you've seen the way last season ended. So you knew how talented the team was and what the expectations were. And then you saw them come out and beat some of the best teams in the country and beat some of them pretty bad. And so you knew what the upside was. But I'd say that there were times early in the season when I felt the same way I feel about the team right now. It's just they let their mentality slip. They let the edge about them slip and start thinking about what if, and start spiraling downward and, really letting their mind take over in a negative way. And I think that's what we saw when things went bad. I mean, we didn't hit well versus LSU. It was, I think we were kind of fortunate to get away with two there. But, after Friday night happened, I think, the team started letting themselves imagine what it would be like to have that happen on Saturday, or even have it happen on Sunday. And when you start down that rabbit hole, you're in real trouble as a baseball team.
Talking to Boomer White here on TexAgs Live. Boomer, like, this offense it's so hard to kind of put your finger on it because, you go to Arkansas where you expect to see the best pitching, and, your bats come alive. You go to Tennessee early, and I know Tennessee's had their issues. You come back from a run rule no-hitter and win that series. Like, the LSU weekend, you didn't hit, but you found a way. Like, but the offense, this is now, 3 consecutive weekends where the offense has struggled. Are they just pressing? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I see two things. I see pressing, and I see just lack of commitment to a plan.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And for today's show, comment what you think Nick's golf handicap is. And of course, have a great Tuesday. We'll see y'all tomorrow.